Hello, and welcome to Thrilling Tales, a podcast devoted to bringing the narrative results of war games and board games to life. Each episode of Thrilling Tales is created on the results of a played game. What you hear is not based on a real event, but rather a dramatization of the events which happened during the play of a war game or board game. And now, let's send the broadcast to the narrator of today's episode, Graham Palin.
The year, 1943. The place, occupied France. The site, an underground newspaper operating under the constant threat of occupying German forces. It is also where the local Maquis gather. Resistance fighters dedicated to disrupting the German occupation until the Allies arrive. 4 members of the resistance are going out on a relatively simple mission. The assignment is to keep the crossroads open, allowing 2 trucks carrying supplies and members of the resistance to travel through without interruption. The Germans often set up roadblocks at the crossroads, so it is the job of the Maquis to ensure that it stays open long enough for the trucks to get through. The team consists of Bimet, their leader, Maquis, an expert marksman, Vespers, whose love for her submachine gun is matched by her hatred of the Germans, and Sapphire, who has just joined the Maquis. The goal is to reach the crossroads while encountering as few Germans as possible. With the mission set, the 4 Maquis head out to their destination. The group headed to the marsh to avoid areas where Germans were likely to be. Morale was high, until Maquis spotted
German.
A German officer was smoking a cigarette on the edge of the marsh. Startled, he spotted Bimet and reached for his weapon. All 4 moved into the marsh with Bimet and Maquis considering their options for dealing with the officer, but Vespers had her own ideas. The rest of the group looked at each other and smiled. This was not the first time Vespers had acted first. Although they knew that if an officer was present, other German soldiers had to be nearby. The group stayed on the paths that cut through the swampy areas. It was not long before they came upon a small village.
It seems quiet enough. Look out!
This time, the Germans had the advantage. A machine gun nest in a small park, guarded by young German recruits, covered the roadway. Vespers fires at the recruits to get their heads down so the others can take out the machine gun nest. But before the others can act, Vespers is dead. And Bimet is wounded trying to help her.
We can't help her, but we can take out that machine gun nest.
Bimet rolls a grenade towards the German recruits. It's enough to get their heads down so Maquis can toss his grenade at the machine gun nest. With the machine gun nest eliminated, Sapphire takes aim at a German soldier approaching her. Sapphire moves to rejoin her compatriots. Their thoughts turn to Vespers, whose body still lies in the street. But with the German recruits recovering from the grenade explosion, they have no time to lose. The trio moves forward away from the recruits and alongside the road that will take them to the crossroads. But just as they start their journey, Maquis spots a German force behind them. Knowing they cannot allow this force to stay on their trail, a quick decision is made.
Go ahead. I'll take care of the Germans while you get to the crossroads.
Maquis decides to ambush the Germans approaching from the houses while Bimet moves forward. Sapphire stays with Maquis to keep the recruits occupied. That one was for Vespers. As Maquis and Sapphire stay behind, Bimet moves forward to the road and spots a few locals who agree to help keep the area clear as she and her compatriots pass through. With the trucks approaching the crossroads, soon, time becomes yet another enemy for the Maquis. With the harassing duo of Germans approaching the road and having their eyes on Bimet, they fail to spot Maquis, who has laid the perfect trap. As Maquis and Sapphire remove the last of the German threat from the houses, Bimet is presented with a few items from fellow members of the resistance near the road. She keeps the canteen but insists that the grenades go to her friends. The group moves to the houses and gives one grenade each to Sapphire and Maquis.
Well, Merry Christmas, and thank you.
Maquis is also told that a group near the crossroads has set up a German mortar that was acquired in a previous skirmish. In case it is needed, all he needs to do is wave at them, and they will use it. Hopes for completing the mission on time have just risen. Bimet is first to the crossroads, and she discovers a small band of Germans arriving as reinforcements. They spotted Maquis as he approached their location. Bimet acts quickly. She flanks the reinforcing soldiers and prepares her grenades. The first grenade catches the Germans off guard with half the force going down. They have no time to react as Bimet throws her second grenade. The Germans are dead. Bimet breathes a sigh of relief, sits down, and finally attends to her wound. But the trucks have not arrived. The Germans are still in the area. So, the work is not done. For Bimet, Maquis, and Sapphire, the success of the mission is now in the hands of the truck drivers and their special cargo.
What is that?
Off in the distance, a group of German stormtroopers who have been alerted by the gunfire and explosions start to close on the crossroads. Preparing themselves for yet another skirmish, the three are surprised when explosions and gunfire pull the stormtroopers away from the crossroads. It is then that they see the trucks in the distance heading towards them. The thoughts of Bennett, Maquis, and Sapphire turn back to Vespers. Her death, her sacrifice helped lead to the success of the mission. Small as it was in scale, but over time each success built to the eventual freedom of France from German control.
Thank you for listening to this month's episode of Thrilling Tales. You can check out more podcasts on our Seek Out and Play podcast channel, along with videos on the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. We invite you to visit our Facebook and Twitter pages, and if you want to support our channel, please visit our Patreon page. Once again, thank you for being a part of Thrilling Tales. And if you see Sally, bring her all the way home.